What's up YouTube? Welcome back to another review. Today's review is going to be on the Hasbro Power Rangers Lightning Collection Mighty Morphin Alien Rangers, or if you guys are familiar with their Sentai counterpart. This is Ninja Sentai Kaku Ranger, I believe. As you guys can see, I am missing one of the team, and these are out of the packaging because I did get this loose from a seller on Mercari. Shout out to the seller. He gave me a super great deal on these, and anyway, I just had to pick them up. Unfortunately, these do come as is, so as you guys can see, I am missing one of these sword holders for Kaku Yellow. Well, actually, it should have been for Jiraiya, or Kaku Black, but nonetheless, they are missing some accessories, but you know, for the price that I was able to get it from, I was completely fine with that. So I am still on a hunt for Kaku White, so not really actively looking, but kind of looking. I was more or less interested in the male figures anyway, so I mean, that's cool with me. But yeah, let's talk a little bit about the figures itself. So for the comparison, I'm actually just going to be looking at Kaku Red or Mighty Morphin Alien Ranger Red. Now, one thing I will say right off the bat is that I'm not very familiar with the Alien Ranger counterpart of these figures, or at least these characters, I should say. I know this one is Orico, which is actually a pretty sweet name, I'm not even gonna lie. I guess, like, as a kid, you know, Mighty Morphin Alien Rangers were kind of cool, but it was kind of like a gap between, like, you know, the Power Rangers that we grew up really wanting to see, and then, you know, just like, it just felt kind of weird that we were getting these different Alien Rangers, especially because they were ninjas. Thinking back on it now, it probably makes sense of how they did it, because how would they have explained, you know, the Power Rangers being ninjas? But, you know, that's neither here nor there. All in all, this looks just pretty much spot on to, you know, how the character looks. If you guys are familiar, if you guys are aware, I'm actually more familiar with the Super Sentai counterpart. So to me, this is Sasuke. But yeah, it looks really dope. You know, I love the accessories that he comes with. He does come with the Kaku, is it the Kaku knife? The Kaku knife, I believe, and the Kaku laser. And then, of course, he has the sword right there, which is really, really dope. I love how, you know, they gave them these separate sheets just for these separate, you know, specific Sentai, which is really, really dope. And I love that they used the kind of older body mold. They didn't go with the pinless. I'm not sure if when these came out, if they were doing pinless, they may have not been using it then, but you know, from feeling these figures, I will say one thing that I do notice is that the plastic, at least to me, feels a little bit more different. I really can't put my finger on it, but these just feel different. And if you guys are, you know, familiar with Lightning Collection, you guys will probably know what I'm talking about. If not, then you'll just have to take my word for it. And then one other thing that, you know, you'll maybe notice is that I feel like these heads don't really fit on there that well. Like, you know, they're not going to move or anything like that, but it is a little bit wobbly. But, you know, nonetheless, I think this looks really, really good. You know, everything about the figure, you know, the details are pretty much right there. You know, they even got the, you know, the symbol right here on the belt. You can see it's, you know, it's that design. And then even on the head, this one does have a little paint blemish, so it may be hard to see, but you know, he does have the circle, and then, you know, the different colors. Here's the triangle and the whatever that is, like the diamond pentagon type shape, and then of course you have the square. So it's really, really cool that we, you know, get these different shapes, and you know, it's a subtle difference, but it makes a, you know, it makes a big difference. And in terms of the articulation, I will say that these articulation on these figures is a little bit more stiff in the, you know, in the shoulders than, you know, some of the newer Lightning Collection figures that we've been recently getting. But in the head, you know, he does have that nice old school style ball peg, which just goes up and down, so it fits really, really nice. You're going to get a lot of movement out of the neck. There's really not much in terms of articulation on the pivot, which is completely fine. Again, like I mentioned, I kind of briefly went over, like, you know, his ability to go up really is kind of hindered here. You know, it's not so bad, but you know, you do get a bicep swivel, a double jointed elbow. Ooh. And then on here on the hand, you do get the vertical hinge, which I really love. That is such a great touch, and it just makes a big difference for sure. It's a super simple, you know, detail. And then on here on this hand, you also get a vertical hinge too. Yeah, yep, vertical hinge. And then in the abdomen, you get a lot of articulation going forward. And then you get that nice crunch, which works spot on with it. And this is, I gotta say, my favorite type of articulation scheme. It just works super well and it's very seamless. For the legs, of course, you don't get the drop down, which is always a great touch. I hate the drop down so much. But you know, he goes out that far. Got a thigh swivel, double jointed knee, and then you do get a swivel as well. And then you do get up, down, and pivot. Pivot on mine's a little bit stiff. There you go. But yeah, so all in all, this is a great, you know, simple articulation scheme. This is nothing out of the ordinary for Lightning Collection, but I think this works really well. If I had to have a few gripes, I would say that I wish that they came with more uniform hands. And what I mean by that is, like, you know, you see Saizo right here with a, you know, a fisted hand, and then Jiraiya with the, with the open hand, and then Jiraiya with like a fist. It'd be nice to be able to get, and I guess it doesn't really apply to me in this situation, but it'd be nice to get more uniform hands, or maybe even both, right? Give us different options. Just so that way, you know, you could do maybe a fist and an open hand. So if you don't know what I'm really referring to, it's that Sasuke and Saizo came with the open hand, and then I believe Jiraiya and Sekai came with the fisted hand, and then Tsurume, who is Kaku White, which I do not have, she came with just different hands altogether because it was the female mold. So, I mean, all in all, this is a great set. If you're looking to get this, I know you can get these on Amazon for like $60 or something like that, which is great. Like I said, I was able to get this for a huge deal, so I'm not complaining at all. If you guys want to know what I paid, I did pay about $35 plus shipping for these 4 figures, which again is a huge deal. You know, I'm super stoked on these, and I'm really liking Kaku Ranger so far. Yeah, I think that is probably one of my favorite, at least in terms of just like Sentai, just how goofy it is, and like it's cool. I like it, and I love the fits. You know, that 90s aesthetic is in full effect. You know, they have the plaid and, you know, the ripped jeans and skinny jeans and whatnot. So it's definitely a dope touch, and you know, I'm really enjoying the Sentai, but that's not what this is about. But, you know, nonetheless, like I said, if you guys are looking to get this, you know, this box set, I highly recommend it. And, you know, my next video, I'm going to be addressing, you know, my personal thoughts on, you know, the future of Hasbro and things like that. I know that, you know, I kind of briefly touched on it, but it's been a little bit of time, and, you know, clearly my love for the Lightning Collections is not diminished at all. So with that being said, guys, let me know what you guys think. Thank you guys so much for watching. Take care. Peace.